Well, have you ever heard of Andrew Reynolds?
The bloke from the factory?
That's right. The factory project's back on again, kiddies.
Oh, you're having a song.
I got it right from the horse's mouth, and I'm on the list.
Well, bugger me gently.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm real pleased for you, Bee.
I'm real pleased for you, too, Doreen. That bastard Vince Talbot is going to wonder what hit him.
And how's business?
Very bad, Missy. Very bad.
Oh, but I'm sorry to hear that. Could get worse, you know. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? Thanks.
It's all there.
It's only $400 here, isn't there?
Same price like last time.
No. It's gone up, you see. It's $500 now. $500 that we bust this place wide open. You understand what I'm saying to you, boy? Thanks. See you next time.
You betcha, Missy.
Judy Bryant? I suggest you come quietly, Bryant.
Well, they're safely tucked away for the night. I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee.
Work breaks are a thing of the past. With 2 officers out on duty all day at this factory nonsense, we're getting further and further behind.
Yes, well, I'm taking 5 minutes right now.
If you're looking for trouble, I'll give it to you. You're hurting my arm.
Well, well, you didn't last too long on the run.
Thanks. Stand over there by that white line. Your name is Judith Bryant, is that correct?
Of course not. I'm Doris Day.
That's enough of that, Bryant.
A couple of days in the pound will straighten her out.
Bryant?
You know what my name is.
Your name is Judith Bryant, is that correct?
Oh, yes.
You've been charged with escaping from lawful custody, assault on a police officer, stealing police property, to wit, 1 police uniform, and impersonating a police officer.
Well, that's quite a list. That should keep you in here for some time.
One compact, 1 purse, 1 set of keys.
Those keys aren't mine. You better return them to the woman who owns this uniform.
Well, aren't we the typical little Girl Scout?
Listen, Bennett. I've got nothing to lose now, you know that. So you'd better watch your step or you're liable to end up...
Bryant! There's an awful lot of money here, Bryant.
Yeah. A couple of shakedowns while wearing the Queen's uniform.
Get changed behind that screen.
She got this money illegally.
Well, the police haven't mentioned it.
Well, it's not right. She should be allowed to keep it.
True, I agree with you. But if the police haven't charged her on it, there's nothing we can do. Look, I think you better be careful with her for the next couple of days. At least until she settles down a bit.
I know my job, and I'm quite capable of looking after myself.
All right, but I'll take her up to solitary after she's signed for this lot.
I'll get her clothes.
It was a pretty stupid way to carry on, Brian. The only person you're going to hurt is yourself.
Yeah, well, she deserves everything she gets, the bitch.
Listen, Brian, you're back inside now. You've got to make the best of it.
Do I?
Come on inside.
No. Now, you listen to me a minute. The only thing that's keeping me alive is a piece of machinery in here, right? And the only reason I had to be alive was Sharon, and now she's dead, and you're telling me to make the best of it?
Inside. Bryant! Look, come on, get inside. We'll talk about it tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, but how many years ago? Come on, Frank. What do you think of that maggot, Margaret? Before it gets there. I'll move it along. Hurry up near the exit.
Meg drives as if she does it for a living.
I hope she's all right. She hasn't driven for a long time. I suppose you know Judy Bryan's been recaptured.
Yes, Miss Bennett and I admitted her last night. I think we've got a problem. It's a bit early to say yet, of course, but her attitude's not promising.
I think I better have a word with her. Yes, well, I would rather hear that from Mr. Douglas. Would you pass on my request to him, please? Thank you. Come in.
Bryant's outside.
Oh, show her in, please, Miss Bennett.
Come in, Bryant. Stand there.
Well, Judy, I am sorry you're here under these circumstances.
Yeah, well, she seems delighted.
That's enough. You have to learn to come to terms with your situation.
Why?
Well, you'll only make things more difficult for yourself.
I thought I'd already done that.
Bryant.
Judy, we'll try to help you all we can. I know when you came in here you were not a criminal, but...
But now I am, right? And you want to know why? Because you didn't do a damn thing about that animal murdering Sharon.
That's enough, Bryant.
All right, Miss Bennett. Judy, let's take things one step at a time.
Okay. What am I likely to get for thumping that cop?
That's up to the court to decide.
Mrs. Davidson, will you please be straight with me?
It was a serious assault. 5 years would not be surprising.
That's a long time to be fighting the system, Judy. On the other hand, if you accept the situation and try for maximum remissions, you'll be out in a lot less than that.
You mean call it quits? Be a good girl, pretend nothing ever happened to Sharon?
Jock Stewart is paying for that, Judy.
Oh.
Very well. You'll spend a few days in isolation to think things out. Then I will review the situation. Miss Bennett?
Good morning, ladies.
Ladies, it's true. God, I'm glad Mouse was sick. It was worth coming just to hear that.
You ought to give Vera lessons.
Okay, B, don't let it go to your head. Keep moving.
I hear you're the head lady.
You got pretty good info.
Nice to have you with us.
Let us know if there's anything I can do for you.
I doubt if that was necessary.
What?
Smith thinks enough of herself without being encouraged.
Oh, sorry, just making conversation. Won't make a habit of it, Mrs. Jackson.
Morning.
Morning. Well, I'd better get on, otherwise you'll put me on report, or whatever it is you do.
Right, you're...
B. Smith, and you're Vince Talbot.
Yeah. You take this machine over here. You know how it works?
Looks pretty straightforward.
Okay, it's all yours. You do the same panels as Margot here.
Yeah, thanks.
Doreen not here today?
No, I'm replacing her.
She's sick or something?
No, the government just decided to rotate things a bit, and I said I'd like to have a go.
I'll give her my regards. Good little worker.
Yeah. And he's going to be sorry he ever heard of her.
Are you ladies comfortable?
Dying of boredom.
Well, security's pretty tight if you want to step outside.
Well, thanks just the same, but I think we'd better stay on hand.
Of course. Better than Wentworth, eh, ladies?
It wouldn't be hard.
I wonder if these ladies would like to make an extra $10 a week each.
Well, that's up to me. What's the story?
Well, it would have to be a private arrangement between you and me.
Oh, under the lap. I knew there was something about you I liked.
They'd be making non-government clothing.
Wasn't that a bit naughty?
Well, I certainly wouldn't tell anyone. But as you're the boss, I just thought I'd mention it.
Okay. I'll put it to them.
You're
very quiet, Dor. I'm concentrating. I wouldn't want to catch my hand in this thing, would I? Oh, you've worked that thing before. You sure there's nothing worrying you? Why should there be? That's what I'm trying to find out, and you won't bloody tell me. Well, it's just this business with Vince. Oh, that's all over now. Be'll take care of that, bludger, good and proper.
Well, that's just it. I don't want any more trouble. And if Kevin finds out...
How can Kevin find out?
Because Vince has got his name and address. He's got it on that quote Kevin gave him.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, Be'll be careful. She doesn't want that factory project stopped.
Damn. What's up? You haven't buggered the machine again, have you? Oh, some people are deaf.
Oh, I didn't do nothing.
Oh. Ugh. Now try.
What's going on here?
Just giving her a hand, Miss Bennett.
Were they threatening you, Summers?
No, Miss Bennett.
You're getting just as bad as they are. You two, get back to work. And come with me, Summers. Captain Barton wants to see you.
Come in. Hello, Gail. Sit down. Thank you, Miss Bennett.
I'll be outside.
Well, how are you?
Is anything wrong?
No, of course not. Everything's set for the trial.
How do you think it'll go?
Well, it's always hard to tell with these things. But I think you've got a good chance if you go in with a positive attitude. They're your kids, and you love them. You've got to make the court see that.
I'll try.
And if everything goes well and you get the bond, then you should be in excellent hands. I've made all the arrangements with Parents Anonymous, and they put me in touch with a woman who was convicted of abusing her children. Now, if you want to, you can stay with her. You've got a lot in common, and she got her kids back.
But where will you be? Just in case.
I'll always be around if you need me.
Thanks, Captain Barton. Oh, tomorrow, at the court.
I'll be there.
Thanks.
Would any of you girls be interested in making an extra $10 a week?
Oh, yeah.
On the quiet, of course.
What's doing, Bee?
The boss wants a little extra sewing done. Apart from the extra $10 a week, he's going to give us something on Reynolds in case he steps out alone.
Good thought.
I'll tell him.
Hey, what's doing on Vince?
Oh, I've come up with a little idea for him, too. But I'm going to need your help.
Since I moved in, it's been one thing after another. But after Gail's court case is over tomorrow, it should simplify things a bit.
How do you think she'll go?
That lot whispering about.
Geez, Mrs. Jackson, I'm feeling crook.
What's the matter, Bee?
Oh, women's troubles, you know. Can I have an aspirin or something?
Hang on. No, none here. Mr. Reynolds should have some, though.
Yes, take her through to him.
Right.
Come in.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Reynolds. Smith isn't well. Do you have any aspirin?
Oh, yes, of course. Come in. Sit down, Bee.
Oh, thanks.
How many would you like?
Oh, a couple will do.
Would you like a cup of tea?
That'd be good, thanks.
Mrs. Powell, would you see if you could find Kay and ask her to bring another cup?
Yes, right.
Thank you.
Nicely done. You can have these back. I just wanted to tell you, the part-time work, it's on. As soon as you like.
Good.
Okay, everybody, smoko. What's happening with your kids?
Oh, the trial's tomorrow. Captain Barton's hoping I might get off with a bond. But I still have to go back to court again for custody.
Your husband's got them.
No, they're in a home.
Some of those places aren't as bad as you think they are. You know, when you first came in here, I was real crooked on you.
Yeah, I know.
But we're going to get along all right now, don't you think?
The trial's tomorrow.
What, do you reckon you won't be coming back here? You'll be lucky. Oh, I hope you don't, though.
Do you think I might?
People like us, we're guilty before we start. It's only the Silvertails that ever get off. Oh, once in a while they let one of us through, but they got to do that just to make it look good. So just don't get your hopes up too high, that's all I'm saying. You know, I've seen girls come back in here that are ready to kill themselves, and they were the ones who were the dead certs to get off.
Hey, come on, what's all this?
It's afternoon break, Mr. Fletcher.
Yeah.
All right, 2 minutes and then back into it. And I'll be checking.
Jude's back.
How do you know?
I took her lunch a while ago in isolation.
Isolation?
Must have given them a lot of trouble when they brought her in. She seemed real upset, just sitting there and staring at the wall.
That's the kind of thing. Judy thought she'd really get out of this place. Now look at her. She got her hopes up too high, see?
Bit dangerous, eh? Yeah, I reckon. Mrs. Jackson?
Are you still not well, Bee?
Oh, manage. Me machine's packed up, though. It's running real ragged.
I'll get Mr. Tolman.
It's packed up, Mr. Talbot.
I can't see anything wrong.
Are you sure you're okay? That was a nasty shock.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I think you better see a doctor just in case.
Look, I'm really sorry. I mean, I don't even know what happened.
Well, it wasn't your fault. The wiring was frayed. Look, I think we'd better call it a day. It's nearly 3 o'clock and a fuse is blown anyway.
Well, what about our pay?
You'll be paid for the full day.
Oh, terrific.
Now, come on, Vince. I'll run you around to the doctor.
What do you think?
Oh, it seems straightforward. You've seen the wiring.
Yes.
I suppose him fiddling round brought the wiring into contact with metal. It does happen all the time.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
The better you get to know people, the harder it is to understand them.
What do you mean?
Well, Gail, for instance. I mean, she's a baby basher, right? So you sort of know where you stand. Then you get to know her, and you find out that she's not that bad after all.
Yeah, confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there goes old Davo. Not a bad stick, is she? But she's changed lately. Yeah. Dressing different. Maybe she's breaking out.
Maybe she's in love.
Oh, no, not Davo. The only thing she's in love with is this joint.
Wonder what Kevin's doing right now.
He'll be down at the boozer with his mates. Lucky bugger.
No, Kevin's not like that. You know, next Tuesday it'll be exactly 6 weeks since we got married.
Next Tuesday? What date's that?
29th.
29th. God!
Hey, Mr. Fletcher!
What is it, Lizzie?
Can I see Captain Barton? I know he's inside. It's urgent.
Well, what's it about?
Personal.
All right, he should still be in there. Take her in, will you?
Now then, Lizzie, what can I do for you?
Could I have half a day off? It's urgent.
Oh, what's so urgent?
I just want half a day, that's all. On the 29th.
Why?
I want to see Marcia. I mean, Ellen and Josie.
Well, what's the occasion?
It's personal. Well, if you really want to know, it's me birthday.
Oh, many happy returns. I'd have thought you'd have stopped counting them by now.
Well, I haven't. And if you want to ask me straight out, I'll be 72.
Oh, congratulations. All right, Lizzie, I'll do what I can.
Well, everybody else is getting out. Working parties, the lot. I'm starting to feel lonely. The place is almost empty.
Oh, I've said I'll do my best, Lizzie.
Oh, thank you, Captain Barton.
Thank you, Officer Knox.
As soon as his
I
eyes
thought it was a shopping display.
That's never your revolting joke. Bullseye, kid.
Vince, you mean? What happened?
Hey, guess what next Tuesday is?
You didn't.
Yeah, I sure did.
Oh, heck, B.
And I've only just started on him, too.
Do you think it's going to be worth it?
Too bloody right I do.
What happened?
I think Smith's up to something.
No?
It's just a feeling.
This factory project has caused nothing but trouble. The sooner it's cancelled, the better.
I'll see you later, Pat.
All right, everyone move out to dinner.
The best thing about all this extra dough we're getting is that we get it.
Well, a lot's going to depend on Gail's attitude. If she makes a good impression on the judge, it'll help a great deal.
Oh, I just wish I hadn't got so involved. But what can you do?
Exactly what you did. Good night.
Good night. Oh, Vera, this trial of Gail Summers is tomorrow. Look, I won't be able to go to the factory.
Well, so who'll be going?
Well, Sue Meadows, I think it's her turn.
Oh, don't worry, I'll do it. I'll tell her in the morning.
I thought you hated the place.
I do. She's just had 2 double shifts there.
Vera, I only said I think B is up to something.
Well, it'll be a good chance to find out, won't it?
Hello?
Erica, it's Andrew.
Oh, I was hoping it would be you. I was going to call you, as a matter of fact.
Why?
Well, Meg Jackson told me about the accident at the factory. Is Mr. Talbot all right?
Well, he was pretty shaken up, but he's all right now.
Did Smith say anything at the time?
Well, how do you mean?
Well, did she have anything against him? Was there any incident before the accident?
Good heavens, you've got a nasty mind.
Unfortunately, it's part of my job.
Well, stop worrying. The machine short-circuited while Vince was working on it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Was Smith near at the time?
Look, it was an accident. Don't be so suspicious.
With Smith, I have reason to be.
All right, Governor. Now let's talk about something else. When am I going to see you?
Tomorrow night? Goodness, I am getting forward, aren't I?
Right. I think it's wonderful. Let's have dinner.
Somewhere quiet.
Such as?
What about here?
Good grief. Can you cook as well?
I'll have you know, my good man, I am an excellent cook.
I'll look forward to that.
So will I. Bye.
Oh, you all set?
Don't know why I'm bothering, really.
Oh, neither do I, then, if that's your attitude.
Well, Captain Barton thinks I might get a bond, but everyone
You know,
else...
the only bit of fight I've seen out of you is when you stood up to us the other day.
Yeah, well, Doreen's been telling me about people who get their hopes up.
Doreen. Sure, it's risky to get your hopes up, but it's far worse to lie down and die. Still, that's up to you, I suppose. I just thought I'd drop by and say good luck.
Thanks.
You reckon old Meadows was joking at breakfast?
What about Vera coming to the factory today?
Could be trouble if she does, with all this extra stuff Reynolds wants us to do.
We'll just have to be careful, that's all.
Oh, well, if the extra dough doesn't come through, I could just go back to making me book.
You ever heard of making book with 2 broken arms, Margot? I've told you before, anything that's a threat to the work project is out.
Well, what about your little campaign with Vince? All this extra work?
It's not a threat to the work project.
Why not?
Because I say it's not, that's why.
Come on, you lot. Let's go.
Thought you hated the factory, Vera.
It happens we're short-staffed, Smith. Come on. Well, don't hang about, Summers. I'm sure there's plenty to do in your cell.
Oh, bum, what's a gate doing shut?
Miss Bennett locked it again.
Oh, that'll be right. Vera gets a terrific kick out of making things hard for people. I just took Judah Brecky and she's ready to go up the walls.
Lizzie, how long you been in here, in Wentworth?
Years and years. I've seen them come and I've seen them go. I've seen them knife. I've seen them chucked off the roof. Riots. Suppose it relieves the boredom.
I really don't think I want to be in here.
Nobody wants to be in here, love. Except me, but I'm getting nothing in my old age. Know what it's going to be next Tuesday? Me birthday.
Happy birthday, Lizzie.
I used not think very much about me birthday, but now I do. I've got these people on the outside. Me daughter and me granddaughter. Well, sort of me daughter. And I was just thinking, wouldn't it be bonzer if I could get out for half a day, and what a nice present that'd be.
Reckon they'll let you out?
I've asked Captain Barton. I reckon he'll swing it.
Oh, he's a wonderful man, isn't he?
All men are wonderful when you've been in here for a while, at least most of them are.
What are you doing, Lizzie?
Waiting for you. That old Bennett, she can't look at a gate without locking it. Strange, isn't it? Do you know that she's got 15 locks on her front door so she can unlock every one of them in the mornings?
Come on, Lizzie, on your way.
Good luck in the court, love.
Thanks.
Come on, Summers. Time to go.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning, Mr. Reynolds.
Morning. I thought you'd have had enough of us by now, Miss Bennett.
Well, we got rid of Burke. She was the key to our problem.
They must be pretty boring stuck in that tea room all day.
Oh, I don't know. At least a person can relax for 5 minutes. Everything okay? Well, we'll make ourselves a cup of coffee. Mr. Reynolds?
Miss Bennett. Do you think she'll make it difficult?
We'll just have to be careful, that's all.
She doesn't seem suspicious.
Could be an act. How's Vince?
Oh, he's fine. He's working in the other section at the moment. Look, about that extra work, I've got an order in and it's rather urgent. How soon do you think we can make a start?
We'll give it a go today. Just small quantities, though.
Right, I'll see you in about an hour.
Remember, one garment at a time to start with. If we get sprung, I'll invent an excuse.
Right.
And what first made you aware, Mrs. Jackson, that all might not be well?
I heard children screaming, and then slaps.
Objection, Your Honor. Mrs. Jackson had no way of knowing the sound she heard was slaps.
Sustained. Might I put it to you another way? You heard sounds which appeared to be slaps.
That's correct.
What happened next?
Mrs. Summers came to my door in a terrible state. She said that Jason was unconscious. He was rushed to hospital.
And you subsequently saw extensive bruising on the child?
That's right.
In addition to the sound of slaps, did you hear anything else that might indicate a state of tension next door?
Well, there was often children crying. And arguments.
Did you hear Mrs. Summers actually yelling at the children?
Yes.
And you formed the opinion that the child was being beaten?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Jackson.
Maybe Vera's getting to like the life. She hasn't stuck her nose out all morning. Oh, somebody gave her a kid's crossword. Can't get past the first clue.
Here's the sample. Kay's getting the material now.
Okay, we'll still stick to one at a time, though.
Well, that's up to you. Kay's worked out a story to explain why the stuff's here.
Hazel Crowe wanted to know where all this was going.
Who's she?
The union rep.
Well, it's none of Hazel's business.
Well, she seems to think it is. They know there's a lot of being paid less than them, and they're worried about their jobs.
I'll talk to her. No one's job's being threatened, and she knows it.
Yes, well, I'd be careful if I were you.
Well, you leave Hazel to me. The one we have to worry about, Miss Bennett.
Morning, Miss Bennett. Stretching your legs?
This is nice. What is it?
I'm making up some samples.
Oh, you're very versatile.
Well, this machine is vacant. Okay if I use it, Mr. Reynolds?
Oh, should be safe enough. What do you think, Miss Bennett?
That's fine. I'll leave you to it.
She doesn't suspect anything?
Doesn't look like it, but we'll still stick to one at a time and
keep them out of sight, you lot.
Right, one down and one to go. I'll go and sort out Hazel.
And what do you do for a living, Mr. Summers?
I work in a factory.
And you do lots of overtime, so you're away from home quite a bit?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we couldn't get by on just my wages.
Quite so. And you had no idea your wife was beating the children?
Well, how would I? Anyway, two of them weren't even my kids. But I did my best for all of them.
Did you have any reason to fear that the children were being inadequately cared for?
Well, she wasn't too crash out on the housework. I mean, I know she's my wife, but I think she'd rather have been chatting to the neighbours and taking care of the kids.
Objection, Your Honor. If Mr. Summers is working so much of the time, how does he know what his wife does during the day?
Sustained. The jury will disregard that last reply.
You did have reason of late, Mr. Summers, to worry about the care of the children?
Well, as I said, the housework never got done. And when I got home from work, well, the kids were always crying.
What happened after the boy Jason was rushed to hospital?
Well, I asked her what had happened, and she said he'd fallen down and hit his head.
Was this a lie?
Yeah, she admitted it later.
And had your wife told you that the boy was accident-prone?
Yes, she had. He was always covered in bruises. I wanted to take him to the doctor to see if he had bad eyes or something, but she said she already had, and the doctor had said he was just a clumsy kid.
And you've now established that no such visit to the doctors ever took place?
That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Summers.
Oh, Mrs. Davidson, what are you doing here?
Actually, I'm looking for Lizzie Birdsworth.
Oh, you should have phoned down. One of us would have found her for you.
Well, we're so short-staffed, I thought I should do something for myself.
Oh, I wish everyone was so thoughtful.
Oh, good morning, Lizzie.
Oh, that sounds like bad news.
Will you be all right, Mrs. Davidson?
Thank you. I've been on to the department about your half-day off. I'm having trouble getting a decision.
Trouble?
Well, we're short-staffed, Lizzie, and they're worried about security after the Judy Bryant affair.
Oh, I don't need an officer, Mrs. Davidson. You had trouble keeping me out of this place, remember?
Yes, but unfortunately, the department doesn't know you as well as I do.
Well, if the department won't let an old lady out to visit a family on her birthday, they're not worth spitting on.
Lizzie, they are not actually your family.
Well, they're the nearest thing to a family I got.
Yes, well, as I was going to say, I think we can manage it another way. We'll have a birthday party for you in here. I've spoken to Marcia, and she'd be happy to come.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Davidson. If that's how the department feels, you can forget about the birthday.
That's silly, Lizzie.
No, I don't, so forget it.
Well, it's up to you.
What did you mean about Marcia coming in? What about Josie?
Oh, Josie's in hospital for her operation. She went in yesterday.
My little granddaughter's in hospital and the rotten department won't even allow me out to visit her.
They haven't refused, Lizzie. It's just that I don't think we'll get approval in time.
Well, if that's what they're like, I don't even want to know about people like them. And you can forget about the birthday because it's nobody's business but mine.
So you do love your children, and you're sorry for what has happened.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
Mrs. Summers, I think we should establish clearly for the jury what the issue is here. You're charged with assault on your son, is that correct? Is that correct, Mrs. Summers?
Yeah, that's right.
And indeed you did assault him, did you not?
Yeah, I did.
So severely that he had to be admitted to hospital. And it was only the vigilance of a neighbour, Mrs. Jackson, which prevented you from going on.
Look, he was crying all the time. I know it was wrong, but he wouldn't stop crying. Nothing I did would make him stop. There was no one to talk to. I tried to talk to Tim, but he didn't care. I didn't know what to do.
Your son was beaten repeatedly, Mrs. Summers. I'm sure many women find themselves in a similar situation. They manage without bashing their children. Your Honour, I think we've proved our case.
I didn't think it'd be like this. Tim said terrible things about me.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, it is. Because what he said was true. I never had the housework done. And I hit me kids. My own kids.
Gail, look, win or lose, it's important that you believe in yourself.
Thanks, Captain Barton, but
Gail, on the outside or in prison, it doesn't matter. But it is essential that you maintain that belief in yourself. No, what you did wasn't right, but next time you'll do better.
Gail, I'm sorry.
you told the truth.
Oh, he made it all sound so awful. And when Tim started...
if you'll excuse me, I have a phone call to make.
Excuse me. Captain Barton? It's going badly, isn't it?
It's hard to tell. I'll be speaking as a character witness, and then it's up to the judge's discretion.
He doesn't look very sympathetic. What's the maximum she could get?
7 years.
Looks like Vera's been sucked right in. Hasn't been out of the tea room all day.
Yeah, it's almost too good to be true. We're getting the work done, that's all that matters.
Going well?
Like a rocket. How's the union rep? Is she happy?
Well, not exactly, but then she's got nothing to go on, has she?
That's it. Here you are.
Oh, good. Thank you.
May as well start another one.
Forget it.
Eh?
Forget it. Do a uniform.
Why?
Because we are supposed to be making uniforms, and Vera's probably counting how many we do.
Well, it's almost knock-off time. We might as well call it a day.
It's all right by me.
Just one thing. When do we get paid?
End of the week. I'll slip you $10 each.
You slip all the money to me. I pass it on.
All right, whatever you like. Well, I've got to get these out of here.
Well, come on, you lot. Pack up. It's time to go. Well, come on, move.
Excuse me, are you in charge here?
That's right.
I'm Hazel Crow, the union rep in this factory.
Oh.
Did you know that these women are taking my girls' jobs? Now, some of my girls have got kids to feed.
Get that lot on the bus, will you? I'll only be a minute.
We're doing government work here, making uniforms. Now, have you any evidence?
I just saw Andrew Reynolds walking out of here with an armful of skirts. You reckon that's not evidence?
Would you be prepared to swear to that?
If I had to.
Well, then I'll see the matter's taken further.
I think you should do that, Mrs.
Bennett. Miss Bennett.
I think you'd better do that, Miss Bennett. If it's not straightened out within 2 days, we're going on strike.
Well, it may take more than 2 days. You can't quote me as saying this, but a strike would make sure the department got the message. Very bad publicity. And I happen to believe that the proper place for prisoners is in prison.
It's nice to know we've got a friend on the other side. We do mean business.
I hope you do, Mrs. Crow. I hope you do.
As a Salvation Army social worker, Captain Barton, you've seen many women in this situation.
Yes, I have.
And what is your opinion of Mrs. Summers?
Well, since I first met her at Wentworth, I've had the chance to observe Mrs. Summers quite closely. I'm convinced that she's a victim of circumstances. She was left alone with a hyperactive child who cried persistently. On top of this, her husband was unsympathetic, and there were frequent fights which increased the pressure on her. She had no friends, and the poverty of the family meant that she couldn't even leave the house. She just didn't know how to cope.
And what do you think of her chances of rehabilitation?
Oh, excellent.
Thank you, Captain.
Captain Barton, you have outlined a series of pressures on Mrs. Summers. Are you suggesting that they excuse her behaviour?
No, not at all. But they do make it more understandable. And she's since discovered a group called Parents Anonymous, which will be able to help her. Had she known about these people before, I doubt that she'd be here now.
The fact remains, Captain Barton, she is here now, and she did brutalise this young child.
I doubt the prison would make her feel any more sorry than she already is.
That, Captain, is for the court to decide.
We find the defendant guilty as charged.
Thank you. The jury has found you guilty. Do you have anything to say before I pass sentence?
Only that I talked it over with Captain Barton and he put me in touch with Parents Anonymous. Well, we planned that I wouldn't seek custody for 6 months and meanwhile I'd live with someone who'd been through all this.
I sentence you to 2 years imprisonment, to be suspended on condition that you enter into a bond to be of good behavior for 5 years and seek expert help and guidance as I shall hereunder direct.
For once, I'm determined to leave this place on time. I have to cook dinner tonight.
Quiet, you lot. Come on, move in, hurry. Stand over there.
These crap
Could you search them?
Mrs. Davidson, could I see you for a moment privately?
What about, Miss Bennett?
It's important. I think we should discuss it in your office.
Well, couldn't it wait till tomorrow morning?
I suppose.
Good, I'll deal with it then.
What's the matter, Miss Bennett? You get the brush off.
Not exactly, Smith. It gives me more time to put it in writing.
You must feel good.
Oh, some you win, some you lose.
Yes, but it was a nice one to win, wasn't it? I don't think Gail could have handled Wentworth, and I would have felt responsible the whole time.
She's not out of the woods yet.
She'll manage. Oh, that must be her now. Oh, is that all you've got?
That's all I want. I left the key on the table and a note for Tim and my wedding ring. It's funny, you know. I still love him in a way, and I'm scared stiff of what's going to happen in the future, but I'm so glad it's over.
Well, sit down. Well, where is Tim?
Oh, at the pub, if I know him. I can hardly believe I got off. It's like a dream.
You'll be able to visit the children once a week at the home. And one thing I want you to remember, if you want to contact me, please do. Don't be afraid of being a nuisance.
I'm so lucky to have met two people as nice as you two.
And you've only seen the good side of me.
Believe me, he's right.
No. If I'd have met you sooner, or all those Parents Anonymous people, well, none of this might have happened.
Hey, it's all over now.
Poor little Jace. I'll never make it up to him. It's hard to believe, you know. But he still loves me.
Won't you sit down? You're making me nervous, hovering like that. I've got a foreman at work who hovers.
How is Mr. Talbot?
Oh, he's fine.
And, Smith, no problems with her?
A model of integrity.
Smith? B. Smith?
I promise you.
Oh, then she's plotting something.
No. She's found a good thing. The only thing she's plotting is how to hang on to it. I'm surprised.
Why?
Cognac. Nothing but the best.
She does tipple on special occasions. I must confess, I was rather nervous about this evening. It's one thing to dine in restaurants, but...
I've enjoyed it very much.
Your wife, Julie, when is she due back?
Next week, I'm afraid. But I promise you, it's nothing like this.
And what is this like?
I can go, if you wish.
Come in.
I came up earlier.
Yes, Vera, I am a little late. I take it this is the matter you were referring to last night.
Yes, I thought a bit more about it. This is my report. It's to you, not the department. I wouldn't want to jeopardize this factory project.
But you've been against it all along.
Of course, I still am. But you're the governor and you've put time and effort into it. If you choose to do nothing, I'll understand.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
It's all in my report. I suppose what it boils down to is this. Andrew Reynolds has been exploiting our women for his own financial purposes. I'm afraid the man's a crook.